Hello, and welcome back to another FPL video. Today we are going to build another draft, and this draft is going to contain the three most expensive forwards, that being Haaland, Isak, and Watkins. That is a request by one of my viewers, and I thought that it was going to be very interesting to see what can we build if we put the most expensive forwards in the game into one team, and to see what budget is going to be left for the rest of the positions. This is going to be a little bit different because I usually start with my captain, then go with the most players that are not going to be playing, so the 4.0s and etc., just to lock down the budget. Then I start building from the back into midfield and then just wrap up with the attack. But this time we're starting all out of the attack, so we will know who our three strikers are going to be, and we will try to find places for the best possible players to finish up the squad. Let's see what we can cook with this, because there's going to be a little bit of a difference compared to my usual draft, as I don't own Watkins and he's just too expensive for my liking at the moment. We'll see if that's going to be the case at starting of game week 1. Let's see when he returns, what he plays, if he's going to take penalties. That is the most important thing, because if he adds 5 to 8 penalties per season to his goal scoring ratio, that would be amazing. Yeah, he was overperforming and overachieving last season, and this time around there is Champions League, but to start with him, it most probably is going to be a good decision. But let's see how we are going to build a draft and where we can end up. So today we're once again, as mentioned before, starting with the three most expensive forwards. This is the front line. We are down 33.5 million already, so that's a very big chunk of our budget. Basically, 1/3 of the budget is going into only 3 players. So let's see what we can do with the rest of the squad. So immediately, as already mentioned, after finalizing the captain choice, I tend to go with the bench options that are almost never going to play. So as we have 3 forwards, we are immediately adding a 4.5 midfielder. That is taken because I'm going to be playing 3-4-3. There isn't a possibility to play your 8 offensive players, so we're going to stay with the 3 forwards, the 3 defenders and the 4 midfielders. Now let's go to a 4.0 defender. For the sake of it, I will add Harwood Bellis. He's in everyone's draft, I feel like, because everyone tends to pick a 4.0 starting player, and apart from Ipswich, Southampton and Leicester players, there aren't a bunch of players that are going to be interesting. There is Barco for Brighton, who is an interesting shout out because Stupinian is out for now, but we don't know what the new manager is going to be playing. So for now, I will stick with Harwood Bellis, as he looks like the most feasible option at the moment, but most probably this will change during the preseason when we see how the new teams are going to look for the promoted side. As you most probably know, that there are a lot of changes during the season, going from championship to the prem, as they receive a lot of money and they want to strengthen their squads. Now we're going to finalize the bench options and the bench sitters with a 4.0 keeper. That's going to be Fabianski, not because that he will play, but because that he is a no name. Before the start of the season, I'm most probably going to go with someone unknown, because I don't want to lose budget on a 4.0 option on the bench. That seems unreasonable. He's not playing, so I don't see a way to just keep him, because those 7.5% are going to drop down immediately after starting the game. So that will be interesting. When I build my team at the end, I will talk about it and I will explain why I'm going for more not so conventional options. But yeah, for now, let's keep it that way and let's have the budget set. So now we're down to 55 million. So that's once again a lot of the budget spent, almost a half on 6 players, while we have 9 more to fit in. So let's try and save some more by introducing the goalkeeper and the defensive part, so we know what we have for the midfield's options. Starting in goal, as we had a lot of changes for the bonus point system, and the guys that are hurt the most are goalkeepers. Like, I don't know if I'm correct, but I believe Pickford would have lost 7 of his bonus points. Martinez from Aston Villa would have lost 9. A lot of the bonus points are not getting. The penalties are getting you less safe penalties. When you concede a goal, you remove bonus points. Points get generated throughout the game, which determines the end of the bonus points. So that's so confusing, those metrics. But in my opinion, goalkeepers are going to feel less and less valuable during the season. Yeah, if you find a team with a solid goalkeeper that keeps a clean sheet, that keeper is going to stack up those points, and maybe he will get the bonus point once in a while. But for me, it's going to be good to target a goalkeeper that is keeping clean sheets, and that is his main job basically. So here for the clean sheets, we don't have a 4.5 option that screams out. We have several 5.0 options that were good defensively last season, and I'm going to go with a goalkeeper from Chelsea because I feel like they're going to face less shots and there is a higher chance to keep a clean sheet if you receive less shots. This might be a tricky option, but as you can see, the 5.5 options here do not excite me at all. The 5.0 options are not exciting for me. I was expecting Pope to drop and he would have been ideal for my team, but that's not the case. And then the 4.5 options, like Olsen is 4.5, he's the reserve goalkeeper for Aston Villa. Neto and Travers, I'm not going for anyone. Flecken, he has a bad start of the season of fixture-wise. As you can see, Liverpool, City, Spurs, and Crystal Palace. This does not scream a lot of clean sheets. Yes, a lot of saves, but not a lot of clean sheets. Still, and Verburgen, not amazing. We have 4.5 options from Chelsea. I'm most probably going to go with one of the Chelsea options. Crystal Palace is another option there. Kelleher is even 4.5. Bayandir from Manchester United. So basically what they've done, every top team that has a reserve goalkeeper now, instead of being 4.0, is a 4.5 keeper. So you cannot just put in the reserve goalkeeper when the main one is injured. So yeah, that's a little bit of a shame. Areola is a shout out, but Aston Villa, Palace, City, Chelsea in the first five, that for certainly does not scream clean sheet. Jose Sa is a player that interests me very much, but once again, not in the first 8 fixtures like Arsenal, Chelsea, Newcastle, Villa, Liverpool, and Man City. After that is a green slate for him, and you can go for him basically on your 2 wildcards and you can be safe. But for now, I'm going to be steering away from him. And that's basically it, everything that's excites me. So the 4.5 option is not exciting, but who cares? It's not that big of a deal. You either go, in my opinion, for a Chelsea or a Crystal Palace keeper. Later on, Flecken and Jose Sa are going to be amazing options, but for now, let's go for Sanchez, and this concludes the goalkeeper's position. Now, in defense, even though you are going big at attack, I believe you should own at least one expensive to semi-expensive defender in your team. Going into the defensive list, as you can see, when I go to the top, you have several expensive options, like Arnold is 7 and White is 6.5, while Gabriel and Saliba are 6. Yeah, 182 points compared to 164 for Saliba, but that is only 18 points compared for a 0.5, and Saliba is nailed, while White, there are some things not for certain for him. Now Gabriel is the same price as Saliba, so it's a no-go for me. Robertson is an interesting pick, only 76 points, but still a 6.0 option. Virgil is there. Guardiola is a good option. Like Ben White is a really optimistic option together with Arnold, but they're too expensive for my liking, and I prefer to go with a 6.0 so I can easily pivot down, or if I need a little bit of extra money, I will go up. So the option starts with Gabriel and end up with Trippier. Gabriel, Robertson, and Virgil are out, and Guardiola and Saliba are the last defenders that I'm going to consider. And here I'm going to go with Guardiola to start the season because he ended the season on a high. And he was getting used to the formation of the way City play, and I believe that he can operate in some dangerous positions. So we're going to go with Guardiola. This downs our budget significantly, but we need only 8 players more, so we're going to be far better. Do we need? No, we need 7 players more, so it's even better. It's around 6 million per player, but now we're going to save a lot of money from the defenders because I'm going for a 4.5 options around the defense. I'm going to go with Andersen as I like him a lot as a defender. I'm going to go with Konsa as this guy is solid, and I believe that he's going to be playing at the start of the season up until game week 3 in a lot of the positions. Then around game week 5, I believe, they start with Europe. So after that, he might get slightly rotated because the Champions League is going to be a different breed for them. But we don't know. With defenders, they used to play a lot of minutes. If starts being a rotation risk, I'm going to take him out, but for now it doesn't seem like happening. He can play at center back, he can play at right back, he can fit in a lot of positions, so I'm happy to own him. And the last guy here, I'm going to mention Mikulenko. Not because that he is so good, but compared to Tarkovsky, who got 117 points, yeah, Brandtwaite got 124, but Mikulenko played far less minutes and he's only 4.5. So for me, he is a very, very good option to begin the season with, and he gives you a home fixture player compared to Andersen and Konsa. I believe that West Ham are more likely to score a goal, but I believe Konsa is more likely to get some points. So it's going to be difficult to determine if I'm going Anderson or Konsa in game week 1. We need to see preseason how are they adapting. If Crystal Palace is left by Wharton as well, I would highly reconsider should I go for one of their defenders, but for now I will be owning him. Now we're done with the defense, and that is 31 million for 4 positions. So that is looking very, very good. 7.5. We're going to go for a cheaper option to say at the 6.5, so we're going to save some money. We're going to expand it a little bit further, and I'm going to start with one of the expansions. I'm going to go with Odegaard. I need an Arsenal player in my draft 1,000,000%, and going for Odegaard is going to be good in my opinion. Havertz is not reachable. Saka is too expensive for my liking to start the season because he was involved throughout the whole Euros, so that means that he is going to be tired and it's going to be difficult for him to come up to speed compared to Odegaard, who got a full rest. He's the captain, he takes penalties sometimes and he can score really, really good shots, and I believe he is going to be the guy that wins them the title, and if they win the title. Sorry, Odegaard is just a good player and I like him really, really much. So I'll be going with Odegaard. We now need to find a 6.5 proper player that is going to be involved into the team, and there are a lot of players that are screaming at me, pick me, pick me, pick me. But here it gets a little bit difficult because Bailey is one of the guys I like the most, but now we own Watkins, so it's going to be a no-go for me. Then we go to United, City, even Nottingham Forest. Spurs is a different option and a very, very interesting option because Savio once again is 6.5, but now we own a Spurs midfielder is going to be interesting. If we don't go for Madison, but we go for the right winger, whoever it is, we're going to be in the money. They have no European football, I believe. They got into Europe, but not into the Champions League. So it's going to be difficult to pinpoint a right winger because they're going to be rotated. Madison might get rotated. So it gets a little bit tricky. And here I'm going to go with a little bit of a differential pick. I'm going to go with one of the Liverpool boys. Should I? Do I need a 6.5? Let's put the other players first. So the 7.0 midfielder that I'm going with 1000% is Eze. He's a pen taker. He is just amazing, so I would be going there. And now there arises a big question. Should I go for a 6.5 and then I'm left with a 9 million midfielder, but the 9 million midfielders are non-existent? So in my opinion, if I go down to the 5.5, I can fit in a player of the status of Cole Palmer, and that is going to be a good thing to fit in into your team. But that leaves me with only 5 million, which can be tricky because we don't have a proper player at the 5 million position. So if we go and drop Palmer and then we go and invest in Son, we're now left with 5.5, and this can easily give us Andreas, Hudson-Odoi, Kobe Mainu, a lot of options. In general, I quite like this trio of Isak, Watkins, and Haaland, but that leaves me pretty vulnerable elsewhere because I need to go for a 6.5 here in order to own Palmer, and then so I need to swap Eze with the 6.5 to go with Son to a 10.5, so not to lose anyone from that 5.5 position because it's going to be interesting to own. If I go here with Saka, who I don't believe is going to outweigh so much Odegaard, so I should go for him. But let's say we go for Saka. Here we should go for Bruno Fernandes, who is at the similar price range, so that's an option. We have several options here. I can go for whoever at 6.5 basically. I like a lot of players, but not a lot. Maybe Gibbs White. Let's say Gibbs White to entertain ourselves. But that leaves me with Gibbs White and Andreas in order to fit in Palmer. while I prefer Eze a lot more than Gibbs White. So yeah, I managed to build a feasible draft with that money and have every line in a good position. I have basically 2 premiums to say Son and Haaland, 3 semi-premiums in Isak, Watkins and Odegaard. I have a premium defender, so I'm in a really good position, but not by much. So I would more prefer not to own one of the 3 guys. I would 1000% without the injury, I will own Isak because he has been so great and I don't see myself not going with him. So it's between Haaland and Watkins. If I don't go with Haaland, I need to go with Foden 1,000,000%. If I don't go with Watkins, I will go with Bailey. So it's basically 9.9 million drop to a 6.5 or a 15 drop to 9.5. That saves me 5.5. The other way around, I am saving only 3.5, so 2 millions difference is going to matter. While I don't know, guys. Haaland plus Bailey does not equal Watkins plus Foden. But the question is, am I triple captaining early on? If I'm not, I might seriously reconsider going with Haaland, but this will be a discussion for a future video and for a future stream. Don't worry about that. If Foden returns early and he's in a good form, because in the City system he thrives so much, I know that Haaland is going to be amazing and he's going to keep scoring a lot of goals. And this is not my final team for the whole season, or this is not even my team. But yeah, if I go with Haaland plus Bailey, I can improve Andreas to 7.5. For example, if I swap them around compared to Watkins and Foden, if I go for them, I will be upgrading. So a lot of possibilities open if I don't own Haaland. And the question is just, should I care about not owning Haaland if Watkins has that fixture of a run? Like, the good fixtures are away. Don't get me wrong. West Ham, Leicester, and Ipswich, while good fixtures for Haaland are at home. Ipswich and okay, 1-on-1. So I might not start with Haaland. This might be a mistake. This might be such a stupid decision. I need to see how the preseason is going. I'm not too much of a fan of going on a preseason data, but still, it's going to be really tricky not to just see how the teams and the statuses are built, because here United are having not a bad fixture run. If you ask me, yeah, this gets a little bit tricky, but this is not bad offensively, this is not bad offensively. Like, the bad fixtures offensively are Liverpool, okay, Palace maybe, let's say Chelsea, Arsenal and City, but the rest, and Newcastle, so it's a big spread around it. So I don't know, guys. I need to reconsider a lot Foden and Watkins versus Bailey and Haaland. Honestly, if I don't know. If KDB goes, I believe I'm going with Foden. The only thing that was outweighing Haaland versus Foden for me was that KDB was there, but now Alvarez will join. If Alvarez will be playing in a cam position, a lot of things will happen. So that will be for another discussion. Drop your thoughts down below if you believe that this draft you like this draft. Haaland, Watkins, Isak up front. This is a big forward lineup. I personally don't like it a lot. I prefer maximum 2 of those players because it's get pretty stacked up front, and elsewhere it feels a little bit tricky, to say the least. I hope you enjoy such type of videos. If you want to suggest any other draft variations, don't be afraid and drop them down in the comment sections. I will be doing them all. So if you want any questions, don't forget to add them. I hope you're having a really good time during this preseason, but because for sure I am. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon with another stream and with another video. But for now, guys, I will be heading out. Bye!